Welcome to the PD Pet Care Vlogs. I'm Dr. Cath Watson, and today we're going to talk about the amazing dog nose. There's a whole bunch of misconceptions about the dog nose, but first of all I want to talk about how amazing it is. Dogs have around 3 million scent receptors up their noses. That allows them to detect an amazing array of scents, but more importantly, the section of their brain that helps process those scents is about 4 times larger than the same section in our brain. So no wonder we use dogs so much for scent detection. The nose itself, pretty low maintenance, not a whole lot we need to worry about there, but there is a lot of misconceptions about what a normal dog's nose should be. Should it be wet? Should it be dry? Should it be warm? Should it be cold? And there is no really straightforward answer to that. In reality, most normal dogs who are awake will have a wet nose. And the reason for that does come back to that scent detection. So they produce a layer of mucus which helps pick up scents from the air. They also actually lick their noses quite a lot, and that's mostly why we're going to see that wet nose. But they also like sticking it in wet places because a lot of those scents that they pick up are in water droplets, so it's a really easy way of getting those scents onto their nose. So does that mean a dry nose is bad? Well, no, not necessarily. If your dog's been asleep for a while, hasn't been licking its nose, so its nose is likely to be drier. If the environmental conditions would dry out your skin, so strong sun, strong wind, that sort of thing, then there's a good chance your dog's nose is going to dry out a wee bit too. Like I say, particularly if they're asleep and sunbathing. Age and breed can also have something to do with it. So older dogs are likely to sleep more, so their noses are likely to be drier. And some breeds, particularly the brachycephalic breeds, so those with the short faces and short noses, it's a little bit harder for those tongues sometimes to reach those noses. They also tend to be set further back in the face, so often they are dry compared to your average long-nosed breed. And again, environmental conditions can make a difference. Whether it's warm or cold is more to do with the environment than your dog's actual temperature. Doesn't mean that if your dog does have a high temperature that it won't have a warm nose, because it probably will, but just because your dog's nose is cold doesn't mean your dog is actually cold. So when should you be concerned about your dog's nose? Well, first of all, it's really important to know what is normal for your dog. So take notice. That's the best thing you can do, is notice what your dog's nose is like under normal circumstances. So when your dog is fit and happy, running around the place, playing, eating, interacting with your family normally, what does their nose look like and how does it change under various conditions? Is it dry when they're sleeping? Is it dry when they're out running around and not licking their nose as much? All those sort of conditions that are going to vary in your day-to-day life. But if there are changes, then some of the things I would be looking out for is a dry nose that's perhaps cracked or flaky, or very red nose. If there's scabs, maybe there is wounds or it's bleeding. A discharge from the nose, particularly if it's discoloured, if it's not normal for your dog to have a little bit of a drippy nose, then obviously that's a sign of problems as well. Sneezing in dogs can be normal, particularly with all those scents that they're sucking up. Some of those are going to cause a little tickle, and you may have noticed that when dogs are lying upside down they tend to sneeze more too. But if your dog doesn't normally sneeze and is suddenly doing a whole lot of sneezing, particularly if that's combined with other signs of problems with the nose like a discharge, or they're rubbing at it, or their nose is red or changed colour perhaps, then all of those are worth getting checked out before problems can develop, or to make sure that the problem doesn't turn into something bigger. But overall, as I said earlier, dogs' noses are pretty low maintenance.